How's it going, guys? My name is Merlin Joshi, and today I've got another 1 hour track for you guys. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Here's what it sounds like. So, as you saw in the little time lapse that I did, it took me 1 hour exactly to do this. So I started in Contact, I used this Rhodes, and I came up with this chord progression. So for the chords, I started with the minor 1 in C minor, going down to the major 6, then going down to the minor 4. And then same thing for the next repeat, except instead of the minor 4, I'm borrowing from C major, and I use the major 4. And then from there, I moved on to the drums, and that sounds like this. So not too much interesting stuff going on in the drums this time. I've only got a little bit of a wave shaper going on the kick. That's what the kick sounds like with the wave shaper, I should say. This is what the kick sounds like without the wave shaper. So at first I was planning on making this beat a little less in your face and aggressive. However, that went out the window as soon as I entered the bass sound in. But we'll get there when we get there. That's why I put the distortion on the kick just a little bit. By the way, that's what the distortion looks like. Next thing I did is I didn't like the snare from the kit that I got. That was the snare. So I layered it with this snare. So interesting thing with the snare, this snare, I have got in the piano roll a smidge off of where this other snare is hitting, so it flams, versus, so you can hear the difference there. I also just realized I'm not using any of these percussions. I've got 4 hi-hats here, short, a little longer, longest, and then an open hi-hat. Little clap that comes in every once in a while. Then I moved on to what became the real meat and potatoes of this track, the layering. So I started with this piano. The next thing I moved on to was the bass. Now, I originally, this was a lead, and I kind of just repurposed it into a bass. So this is what that sounds like. Love that little slide at the end. It makes it just work together. So I've just got the bass. I exported it out because it was a little laggy when I was making it. So on the bass, I've just got a parametric EQ2 doing a lot of work. Without the parametric EQ2, it sounds even worse. So yeah, the parametric EQ2 is just carving out the frequencies that I wanted. Basically just that mid part. Reducing some of the grit of it. The sub doesn't really have too much going on. It's just a harmor with some classic distortion on it, and that's about it. The next layer I moved on to was this guy. So this is another lead from Massive X. So I just have a little bit of EQ going on there. The next layer, I should say, sounds like this. Then the next layer sounds like this. This layer's just got a little bit of EQ going on. And the last layer comes in at the second half of the song. So that's what all the layers sound like by themselves. Now, I bet you're wondering, now, Adam, the chords don't really sound like what they did when you first played the track. Because in the send that I have all the layers going to, right here, the chords layer, the chords send, I should say, I have a fruity balance, as you can see, and an OTT gluing it all together with some compression. Now, the fruity balance is doing this kind of automation. So that makes it a little less harsh and in your face, and it makes it work. So that's what that automation is doing. The next automation right here is automating massive 2's wavetable position, I believe. That little thing right there. It's exactly what it sounds like. That thing got animated right there. Animated, automated. Close enough. And then in massive 3, I've got this parameter called anima being automated. I'm not really sure what it does, but it makes it sound cooler. So you can hear the difference between when it's on and when it's off. Not too big of a difference, but in the mix it makes it pretty cool. And then over to the reverb automation. This is pretty standard reverb automation. I've just got some sweeps in here. They're not really... And then, of course, you know I've got the crystallizer going on. I've got everything being pitched up an octave. And this time I don't have the splice and delay turned down a lot. I kind of left it there and it sounded cool, so that's what we've got. And that's how I got this effect right here. That wah-wah kind of thing going on right there. And that's pretty much it. I've got all of the melodic stuff going to a sidechain bus, which is being sidechained by the kick and the snare. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you guys learned something, got something out of it maybe. And as always, if you guys want me to finish this song, please write a comment down below. Or if you just want to say hi, that works too. Until next time though, guys, this has been 1 Hour Tracks Part 2. I still don't know what I'm going to name it yet. And goodbye, guys.